They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus. But we think that divide wide enough to talk about the gap between us. Rabs, bacchanal and contention. We have all of that in the session. Let we talk man and woman thing. Warriors, jamets, queens and kings. We are sure if men are from Mars and women are from Venus. But a little comments on a Friday. Jaiga, Raw, Roddy versus Abby. 3 man and 1 jamet from South. That is what we talking about.
This is where we fight!
The battle is on. Mars versus Venus.
Yes, sir. And we are here. We say the battle is on. Mars versus Venus. It's Friday. What is the 14th January? Well, where? January, I go to say.
Today's 14th of August. What happened on the 14th of January?
14th of August. You look at
October.
all of us off. All of us off. Everybody off. So I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you, Lords. So she coming at my neck, you know, she coming. What you have going on?
What you have going on January?
What you have going on the 14th of August? That's why you need to study. Don't study what I'm doing. 6421 him. Study that.
Oh, wow. Why you don't answer who makeup is that on your shirt?
That is Nicola's makeup. I can't answer. I hug Nicola.
I feel I was there before.
No, honey. That's
You
Nicola's.
come with that. You come with that.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Nicola
Nicola. How Nicola is up there? You show me on
She just hug on the neck shoulder.
yeah, right. You're right. That's Nicola's face powder.
Yeah, that's your story and it's sticking to it.
That's the only story.
Cool.
There's not no story.
Come. We start a new chapter.
So today we decided that we want to start a new chapter. And when I say new chapter, we're talking new chapter in relationships. And it's stemmed off of something that happened in the week.
So remember that show, Sister?
Yeah.
Never knew how much I miss you. Got in the family tree, different in who gonna be. Yeah. Sister. So Tia and tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
I ain't never gonna let
There's a running joke on. Yes, there's a running joke because it was a big show. Go home, Roger. It was a big show. So there's a running joke on the interwebs that Tia is the black sister and Tamara is the white sister.
Oh, okay.
Right.
The black American community does not claim Tamara.
Oh, okay.
They claim Tia.
Okay, got you.
So Tia and Corey
Right.
broke up.
What's up?
Boy.
Yeah, Tia and Corey broke up.
After how much years? I want to get it right. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I think they were married for 14, but together for a little longer than that. I think that's what it is. Or is it married for 10 and together for 14? Something so.
Well, nutshell, she came out and said she wants a new chapter. She's ready for a new chapter in her life, so she bust out.
Damn.
All right, plain talk about man. She bust out.
You know?
Bust out. So we
How much
talking.
kids they have?
2.
Yeah, so we talking new chapter.
Yeah.
Is it cool or how would you think it's okay to just bust out?
But the thing is, did she really just bust out? I'm sure that there would have been tenuous circumstances. Now, she made it very clear that he didn't cheat. There was no infidelity or anything of that nature. I think she just said she was unhappy. And, this is a new chapter, finding herself.
She was unhappy with herself.
Yeah, she was unhappy. Mm-hmm. She was unhappy in the union. And apparently it's been like that for a while. And there was nothing that he could have done to fix it. So, I think what they put into the public domain is irreconcilable differences. Now, we also don't really know what was happening behind closed doors.
You can never know.
Yeah.
But point is, new chapters. Are we allowed? Are we allowed to have new
I would
chapters?
say both
men
man
versus
and
women.
both man and woman allowed to make themselves happy.
I mean,
By
could you reach chapter 90, 96 and then decide to bust out?
Yeah, why not?
when you're ready to dead.
You're dead, boy.
I mean, you could.
Maybe that's your last gift to yourself. Who knows?
Could.
If you're at 97 and you with your woman for 70 of those years, and you just say, Rosin girl,
Are you see there?
I said yes.
I taken my plate and I gone.
Yeah. If you decide to leave Rosin at 97, that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe that last couple of months of your life will be the happiest time of your entire life.
Because marriage, I don't care meaning. Me, I get no more, you know.
It's not about
Because
meaning.
marriage
It's
is a
about
contract
meaning.
mostly.
bro.
Together forever.
Yeah,
Till death
we-
do us part.
Yeah,
We all them
underst-
things gone.
We understand all of that, but it should be still
When I ready to leave, I just gone.
So
I'm sure I didn't come. And the thing is, they have, I suppose, they have a family, they have a home, etc. But there's always the argument of, yes, but what about the children? I really don't think it is healthy for children to grow up in a home that is unhappy.
Yeah, for real.
So if it is you, and also too is also about teaching them that they have the right to make choices. They have the right to make choices once you are not actively
And once the
trying
choices,
to hurt someone.
yeah, once the choice, I'm not going to say once the choices are not vindictive ones.
Yeah.
If there is really good choices, the fact that you decide that you want to make a decision to walk away and it's a decision for you, my honest opinion, you do that. Because you will be a happier person and the people around you will be grateful for it in time. I know people that never see it in the moment.
Their relationship was very public too.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
they used to share a lot of relationship advice and I'm not sure it's a podcast,
Yeah.
but you
And
could
they
go on
was
YouTube
cooking and things.
and they're
Or is the
very
next one who
active
does cook?
on exposing, you know, the little
Yeah, the hardships of
The
marriage.
hardships
I saw a
of
couple of their
the
videos already.
yeah.
Where they use that against him though, the videos. They said how he never used to let her talk. It ain't looking like
It
juice,
is juice.
Liquor, eh?
You look like you drinking rum on the man job site, eh?
It's juice.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
Big up fruiter.
Looking like
Apple.
insecticide. Eh?
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, but and that's another thing too. I was going to say sometimes you have to also be careful who you're taking advice from on the interwebs.
Yeah, why?
But then at the same
Megan
time,
used to get real advice with her husband too, and then bust up.
who's that?
Megan good now. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the guy he was
Oh
and
yeah,
what's his
but
name
he was
again?
always little.
The pastor dude.
Yeah, the pastor dude.
Yeah.
Real advice.
But
real
then,
advice.
does it mean? I mean, none of us are perfect, and you could be. I mean, there's the big flex right now is being a life coach or whatnot, which is as always kind of watch it a little side, eh? But the whole life coach thing, whatever.
We need a life coach.
I need a life coach. Brody, should I choose violence or not?
Listen, today is a violent day. This is the forum for violence.
Should I choose violence or not?
Yeah, I think you should.
Somebody to
I
tell
think you
you
should.
I need a
when
life coach.
cockroach and lizard come out, call him. You just need somebody to just counsel you through times like that. That's all I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
You're so helpful.
Yeah, to bring you into because
you.
that broad back attitude
you.
doesn't work for everything.
Thank you.
We love you as an African.
yeah.
We want you on the battlefield.
yeah.
You're a black queen that we love.
Let me go straight from the topic now.
Okay.
Let me go straight now. So
Alright,
the
cool.
question is what?
New chapters, is it okay?
Is it okay to walk away from a relationship without there really being any, riffraff between the
No, we need to
And we
partners?
think, you see,
We need to normalize it not being riffraff because
Right.
we
Yeah.
always feel when something had to done, it had to done
It had to be
with
because-
Bacchanal
Yes.
and
No,
no,
scandal.
but not even that too. Like we also think that like infidelity is the be all and end all of
It's
mashup.
actually not.
Well, not only
You know?
infidelity, Not only infidelity.
He didn't horn you, so what you done with the man
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
So I had to get horn in order to realize I'm not happy.
I mean, verbal abuse and these kind of things.
You rather
is
mistake?
real.
It could be that. It could just be
So-
boring too.
It could be
Yeah.
boring.
You rather me stay and be unhappy and eventually horn him, or you rather me leave
So is it
with everybody's
is it okay?
I find you
dignity
saying
intact?
that kind of. Why you saying that so hard though?
Oh, son.
Sounding aggressive. So you rather me stay and be unhappy and then on him. Then don't say it so. Your tone is triggering. It's
So
very
is it
triggering.
okay
Oh.
to start a new
Wow,
chapter?
you really
saying-
want to tell black woman today? I find your tone is aggressive. Is that it?
Is it okay?
That's not it was.
Okay.
Is
I
it
felt
okay to start
Felt
a new
it.
chapter even
attacked.
if it is not you, is me, and boss out? It's not you, it's me. New chapter for me. I good.
Yeah.
Boy, we have to accept it, boy. As hard as it is, I being honest.
We're going to do
as
Tai Chi to the house.
life to this person, boy.
as hard as it is,
Nobody is
boy,
saying you
what
wouldn't
we
be
gonna do,
unhappy.
boy? What we gonna do, boy?
Nobody
It's
is
not
saying you
use
wouldn't
me.
be
I
heartbroken.
do
You ain't do nothing. You treat me real good. You
You
treat
do
me
everything
best.
right.
But it's not you, it's me. I
What we
go.
go- what we gonna do, boy?
Hey, boy, that's real hard, boy. That's hard, boy.
But what
Maybe
we gonna
maybe
do?
the person woke up and
What's up, your own
realized this
family,
is not
boy?
the
It's not
life
use
they
me.
wanted.
What we go do? You
Man,
cannot
you can't do
listen.
nothing.
We cannot
This is not the life I wanted.
fault people for what they like and what they
Yeah.
want and what they believe in. We could only support it, brother. I know it's hard.
Yes.
And as Abby said something just now, but I do believe that someone who maybe picture perfect life they don't have, but I still feel they can offer some sort
Of
of
course,
some
yeah.
beautiful advice depending on what
From
they've
what
been
they've
through,
learned.
what they've
Bro,
learned, right?
I find
So
it- I
yeah, I
find it-
take it from everybody. I take it from you. See, people say,
Yeah,
but
but
you
don't be calling
can't.
yourself a life coach too.
But what you can, what I don't like,
About
what I
emotional
don't,
intelligence
what
and writing book.
I don't like is, you see, what I don't like is, like criticism for me is be constructive, right?
Mm-hmm,
like if you ain't build nothing, never in your life do tell me how to construct anything. That's just how I feel. It's like if you're speaking on something like I will mess like yesterday I was calling Abby about some things I was doing with the kids. I reach out to Abby because she's actively in that space. Right. She is in the research space. Once you're doing your doctorate, you're in a research space, right? So things will be at her fingertip all the time because she's in that mood. So who you call? You call Abby to be like, hey, where I could find this? She find it for me in a second. She's like, well, no, I call Abby, where I can guess one? So, let me send you the link. Immediately one comes to your phone. Because she's in this space, so I understand that. And that's what people need to do. You need to go to people for different things. Yeah. You understand?
So wait. You see, my thing is, all right, you start off a relation. How long do you stay together for?
Let me say it could be 1 year or 14 years.
Right? 14 years, that's a very long time, right?
To invest.
People learn, people grow, people evolve, and they do different things, and they get into different things. So you could grow apart.
Right. Yeah, you can.
Right? But if it is the person was actively supporting you, there with you, you know, they're giving you all they invested, and you just ups and say, you know something, I grew past this. I find you should be able to sue them.
But the thing is, did she really just ups? Do you really think he was blindsided?
I find you should sue.
Somebody saying
I find you should sue.
It's amazing he said that. Somebody saying it's financial.
It's financial.
Yeah, they say they didn't say they believe. They think it's financial because he hasn't been working. He making the kind of bread. So she just like, why would you still for you? Ain't doing nothing. It's not matter. She want money, man. She want a man with a big van.
She want a money man.
She want a man with a big van.
Started so well, guys. We started so well.
No, but financial issues, financial stuff is always an forefront.
He used to do though.
But what he was an actor too.
So
the two of them met on set.
He wasn't really acting away.
Bro.
Yeah.
See your man, you see?
But
he wasn't really any good.
You see?
Wow.
But
yeah, boy, when you ain't making no money as a man, you have no value in this world, you know, bro.
But we don't know definitively if that is what it was. We are speculating.
We don't know. We're speculating.
We are speculating. Man because you have no money. I wait till she lead him man because he broke.
No. What you need is, you see, the thing is, you need a reason. You need a tangible reason to hold on to.
You can't tell me I support
said,
you.
I am starting a new chapter in my life.
Yeah,
she ain't publicly burn him down. She ain't call him a waste man. She didn't say he horn hard.
Well,
none of that.
For leaving me with grace.
Yeah, she left with grace.
So much.
You're welcome.
And that's the thing we need to practice. We need to normalize leaving with grace.
I sure if he was in his position like Kevin Hart or The Rock or whatever, Tamara stay and hold long she man. Tia stay down and hold long she man.
Bro, we don't know. We don't know.
From a man's point of view.
Bro, I'm not going to say anything like that right now today. I'm not
if
in that
he wasn't
mood.
a Kevin Hart, he
bro,
making them kind of figures, he getting them kind of movies. Tia going anywhere?
This show puts me in a lot of
hot water. Tia ain't going nowhere.
This show puts me in a lot of hot water, right? A lot of water. So today, I'm trying to choose my words wisely. And I am saying, I commend the young lady. Kudos to you, ma'am.
You better.
That who side early on this morning.
Hi, you can't leave him now.
No, who side early on this morning? What is really going on with you?
With grace.
What's going on with you?
I have to choose my words wisely.
Will you get a government contract or something? Well, you teeth and floodgate right now, boy. What are you talking about? We're moving floodgate.
Wow.
Whole floodgate. Family have to be.
So wait. My good friend, Jaiga son, can't side with me for once.
When by wrong by.
Brody, tell me only how floodgate and nobody talk.
Listen. So my good friend Terrence
hey,
can't side with me for once.
My belly.
I understand what is going on. This one is Mars versus Venus dread.
Hey.
So fight for fight's sake.
Yeah.
That is why woman has done
planet. You jumping planet, though.
It's not about jumping planet. I'm just looking at this holistically,
look
my
at
friend.
him.
You understand? All I'm saying is, if a woman decides, it could be 1, 4, it could be 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever time, however long she decides, and she says, listen, I want to start a new chapter in my life.
Yes.
I think I'm not happy in this space anymore.
There we go.
You waste my time, man.
You have done everything a man should do.
Yeah, but my time was invested too.
You understand? All I'm saying to my brothers out there, to my kings,
but it's not me
take
leaving
a deep
you.
breath.
It's not me leaving you.
Let him finish.
Take a deep breath.
Let him finish.
Let the young lady leave with grace. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
or the universe is, you will be gifted
Yes.
with happiness.
There we go.
Peace.
Bro, you're being drawn.
Love
here.
and light.
You're being drawn. Here. What is going on here?
Peace, love, and
You're
light.
being baited right now, eh?
Did I tell you I love that
Yo.
color on you today?
Yo.
I love that color on you.
Peace, love,
When
and
not coffee?
light.
When not
Peace, love.
coffee?
Rodel,
You
it
have to
comes
be
a
on some
time.
kind of spell or something, right?
It comes a
now.
time.
Daddy.
It comes a time in everybody's life, not just man and woman, or woman, in everybody's life, where you two have to.
I don't want peace. I want problems. Always.
It comes a time when everyone needs to choose a different path and a new chapter. And today is that day for me. All I'm saying
You
is,
hear what the people say now because
all I'm
Rodel
saying
has
is,
had enough.
a man now lost his whole family.
Right.
Because
And we are
he
saying
can't get no acting
grace.
gig. They don't pay him on no series. He talked to Tyler Perry.
imagine
They
the
tell
man
him
can get a little.
You know him a Tyler. Tyler
tell
will him
him
put him in a
no.
bad wig.
And
And Tyler real thing on BT her right now.
This is why I saying.
you can get a little squeeze on a
The
show.
oval, it's
It's
a
a real
sister.
and a show there.
Oh my
Yeah. Oh, well.
gosh.
A real nice
But we
and
are
a show
not
there.
sure that is the reason.
Good morning, beautiful Miss Abby. Could you please find another adjective to describe yourself on a Friday morning?
Oh,
After
sweetie.
14 years, that is not a different chapter. That's a whole new book.
Okay, wait. Let's pause. We normalizing geometry. The geomets. We have attached a particular ideology and a particular stigma to what geomet is. But geomet comes from the word diameter, which actually didn't only refer to women. It referred to an entire class of people that existed below a certain line. So it originally dealt with an entire class of people. And then in particular, in terms of talking about geomet, in terms of talking about woman embodiment, the geometry is about the power of your voice, the power of your body. Geometry is revolution. Geomets were the ones who led, who incite the women and them to start the Kambuli.
Right.
There's a strong possibility that is a geomet who pelt the first bottle. So if it is you're thinking of geometry in terms of sexualization, okay, cool, because I'm very, very strong and resolute in my sex and sexuality, that's fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I'm also talking about geometry in terms of being an ideology and in terms of revolutionary spaces and spaces of resistance. So let us decolonize our minds. Yeah?
Right.
And that was a cultural thought brought to you courtesy AB.
There you go.
So when I think about jam, I think about Woman King.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to see it this weekend.
Yeah, I see it, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to see it this weekend.
I see it.
Morning, Ojo, morning. There's two ways of looking at this. There's the adult way of looking at it and saying, she's unhappy, let her be, let her go, let her do her
I
thing.
think he's not going to choose that way.
There's nothing you can do about that. You just have to leave people to let them do what they want. But then there's the other way where there's time wasted. So I say time wasted because the relationship came to an end. This is why I believe relationships should have like a check-in period where ever so often we come together and we say, hey, how do you feel about this? Do you still feel like we're on the right track? We still feel like we should stay together? So that way you don't have all that wasted time, you know?
I hear about the wasted time situation.
I hear, but
There's an easy way to solve that though.
But is it wasted time really? They have a home, they have a family, they
You
have
would have done
children,
it,
there are
but some
things that came out of this
the person on
relationship.
the other end always sees it as wasted time. Only the person on the next end, and I'm not saying a woman, I'm not saying man. Anybody on the opposite end of that stick will see it as
I hear
wasted
you.
time. Because that can be fixed, and that can only be fixed by capitalism. You have to put a price to it. So if you start to say, okay, if you decide to leave me after 15 years, every year it costs this much. So when you leave it at check.
But here's the thing, she probably will
Leave
pay.
me-
If
leave me that bread.
it is yours rational is that
Right.
he wasn't working and she probably making more money
was,
than him.
yeah.
She probably will end up paying him alimony, innit?
Right, yeah.
So all's
works
well
out.
that ends well, innit? So yeah.
Hello, morning, Rody.
Look, my friend.
Just take
Okay.
a step back and read the room. Especially that gentleman on the other side that's speaking all this love and light. Read him properly. You see, show up with makeup and the shirt this morning.
Yeah,
Odell, read the room.
I read it, Kevin. I
Read
read
it.
it.
That's all I'm saying.
Take
I
your
read it,
time.
Kevin.
All I'm saying.
And know what's going on. Some young lady meet with cream. She come, she take papa cream.
Who's ready to start a new chapter in her life? Hey.
Can you names just oh good. They say he have 2 shows he on currently.
Really? What show is that?
Yans, tell me them shows now. You know, Yans is a show girl, but she's a show now.
Is it like A-lister show or
Well, me
D-lister
right
show?
now, as a young black actor, it doesn't need to be in 50 favor, TV-wise. I'm not in his personal
50,
life.
yeah.
In his TV-wise,
Can't take 50. I mean, like
business-wise.
for one thing.
That is the franchise you want to be on.
True.
That is the franchise that making the most bread, and
You're right.
you're active on television with a good salary. Yeah. Like this lady, I was watching her figures the other day. She come a long way, man, but she really struggled anything.
Yeah.
Who just pay Olivia on Law and Order?
What's my girl name again?
I don't know her real name. I can't remember her real name, but she up to
forget her
850.
name.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
850 and what?
An episode?
An episode? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That ain't bad. Let me do about 23 episodes a season, you know?
That's real good, man.
850,000 episodes is good bread.
For things like, for what show is she on right now?
She is the face of
You mean
Law
it-
and Order Special Victims Unit.
You mean oh God, Marishna Koff something. She have a kind of Koff kind of name. I forget her name.
All American Homecoming. He's not unemployed at the moment. They
At
say
the
you have a
moment.
Len.
You have an N. You have an N. Okay.
He's not unemployed.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah,
He
a
wouldn't
little-
starve.
A little 1500
Yeah, you
episode.
can buy groceries on
They
the
say
train. Come
dealer
over.
shows that it's too late. On the real hardcore. They say dealer shows he's on and it's too late.
Gotta find about 15 link on
Oh,
torrent.
they also say now look information in the comment. They also have a prenup.
Yes, they do have a
Okay.
prenup.
Yeah, they have a
Okay.
prenup.
We want prenup. We want prenup.
Now, remind you, these people have brands as well, eh?
It's true. And like,
This could be
she
a-
have a book.
This could
he
be a
must
PR move, you know. Eh?
I guess.
Good morning,
Yeah.
breakfast
Man.
party.
Morning.
But where's Rocky Jaiga? Where does soft Jaiga come out from?
Fuck to here,
Yeah,
boy.
man. Unacceptable.
Wow.
Rocky
you see?
Jaiga.
You see, that's the thing, but they don't understand. Come on. Let's change that mindset.
Jaiga Balbosa.
Early morning. So what about, you see the fact that if a man could say he was blindsided, he has no idea where it came from because he did everything he was supposed to do, he is definitely a part of the problem because he has not been
Thank
paying
you.
attention. He maybe do everything he's supposed to do financially, but emotionally she empty. You know, you don't even ask how was her day. You don't even pay attention to when she looking like she's down. So yeah, you're not to hold a woman for things to go south. You have other ways that she could feel empty. And because we were taught you have to get married by a certain time and a certain age in order to be considered a full woman, then women would have gotten married to people that they should not have settled for, but did because they were not
what
even
percentage
in your
woman
own
I am,
place.
Man
So when
too.
a woman decides to bust out because she's not happy, don't say it's out of nowhere. It's very seldom out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And it's time that she's trying to find her voice. More power to you, sis. And bro, if a woman says she wants to leave, it probably took an extended period of time to do that kind of planning
That's
and
right.
decided, and you wasn't paying
And let me
attention.
just say,
years.
that's not a gender-based thing. There are men who are in that same position as well, who got married because they felt as though that what they were supposed to do, not necessarily who they wanted to get
Yeah,
married.
All right,
to.
Jaiga. All right.
To me,
all
you damn
right.
you
all
damn you do, you
right.
damn you don't, you know.
All right.
You damn you do, you damn you don't.
The-
Because I think a lot of people go into relationships now thinking that your spouse supposed to fill every crease and crevice or you're being...
I don't think it was that though. She also spoke about, I was reading somewhere where she had 2 extremely difficult pregnancies and took a long time to get her body back. I'm not sure if there was postpartum in there, but the process of mothering and motherhood and pregnancy and bringing small humans into this world, sometimes that's where the disconnect begins to happen. And because men don't necessarily have that real understanding of women's bodies and how our bodies work and how our hormones and emotions are linked
We'll
to
never
certain
understand.
things. You all will never understand that. Sometimes that's where the disconnect
Scientists are not
happens.
going to understand
Okay,
that.
look. Rocky Balbosa
No.
is coming. Jaiga Balbosa coming back.
You're twitching.
He twitching. He glitching. He glitching. Wait. So when that happens and that disconnect happens, sometimes that's where the communication starts to break down and it is difficult to pull it back. How do you heal it after that? All right, finish glitch.
I'm just asking, if the man do that
What?
after 15 years, say, listen, I want a new chapter.
Uh-huh.
Bundong.
Okay.
Would have been his position
Bundong
today.
time. He said bundong
They have a
time.
prenup.
Bundong
They'd have been
time. He said
fine.
Bundong time.
Wow.
You really feel
Bundong,
that people will be
bundong.
calling that.
So this
Sis,
is
live your
the
life.
portion of the program where
Brother-
we begin
brother,
to
live
stereotype,
your-
guys.
You feel women was going to call in here
We're
and say,
in the
"Brother, you live your
stereotyping
life,
portion
bro.
of the
You do
program,
what's good for you,
guys.
bro." You live your life.
Yeah,
If
but
a man
that's
decide
reality.
in 50 years, hear what? I want a new
reality.
chapter in my
Kalisa,
life.
we were doing so well, sis.
I'm just
We should have bet
That's
money.
reality.
We should have bet
That's
money.
reality.
So you're saying, Abby, a man doing it, you feel the exact same way, like what she did. You did the exact same. You good? It's cool. You will be here now, waving the flag, saying, "Yeah, bro, we stand by you, love and light."
And here's what I...
No, let me hear.
See, Roddy. All I see every setup. Here's what I'm going to see. I would say that the way our societies are set up, and I'm going to use the P word, could you come down, please, literally come down from there?
I won't hear it.
Yeah, let me hear.
The way our societies are set up, and I'm using the P word that Roddy loves so much, patriarchy.
Right.
You ready? Right. Because of the way the patriarchy is set up, there are certain leeways that men are allowed and certain things that women are not allowed within the space of relationships and sex and sexuality and all this kind of thing. So as a result, when women get married, there are certain benefits of marriage that women don't necessarily get. So when a woman decides to leave, it's as Lily says, because there's an emotional disconnect that has happened a very, very long time that you all did not.
We're going on the savannah.
Wow.
We're waiting.
Wow.
We're waiting, Rudy. Let's wait. We're only. She didn't answer the question yet, but we're waiting.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go.
We by the zoo. We got.
You wasn't in the room all the time. Where you come back from?
We're making the block to get back to QRC.
Just
Go
saying,
ahead.
we
All
don't-
I'm
we
saying-
don't have the biggest roundabout in the
Because-
world anymore. That's it, you know.
Because of the fact of how the patriarchy is set up, there are certain benefits that men will always be, allowed to access that women will not be allowed to access, which is why if the tables were turned, there would be some people who would immediately attack the man because they see it as him in a position of abandonment. But the point is, each instance is different. And as we said, people are supposed to be allowed grace across the board. Allowed grace across the board. Nobody is saying that it's not going to be hurtful. Nobody is not saying that it is not going to be traumatic for everybody involved. But the flip side is, do we have children grow up in a space where they are unhappy, an unhappy space, and also where they are taught that they don't have a right to choose their own path? Yeah? So it's very easy to paint with this brush. And this is why sometimes these Mars versus Venus-esque type conversations of, but the man could do this and the woman can't do that and the woman can't do this and the man can't do that, and we deal in generalizations sometimes without contextualizing it, could be a little problematic.
There's a huge difference between
Yeah, all right.
Damn.
I can't curse on air. 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 I can't curse on air.
Play the people. Let me hear the people.
Alex, HYLC for 500, please.
Let me play the people.
For 500, please.
Men do that all the time. Men walk out of marriages, relationships, situationships after many years without even a valid reason. The woman wants to turn a new chapter in her life. I am happy for her that she find her voice and the confidence
And they are
to do
excused,
so.
you know what I mean?
She found her voice, guys.
But I believe communication
It
is
just
very
makes when we
important,
win.
and we need to take time and learn each other and get to know each other so we could know how the communication
There
works.
we go.
And I think anytime that breaks down, everything goes out the door.
There you go.
Better communicate.
There you go. But my good sis, who is going to be my, I'm going to have two mother givers in my wedding with Burna Boy. She's going to be the second one. She's right. She's very, very right. You know?
MMA talking about?
Huh?
MMA talking
Yes,
about?
in terms of where she says men walk out on relationships all the time, marriages, whatever.
Still considered a big dirty dog though.
Really?
Whether you do it for your peace of mind or not.
You think
You
so?
can be doing it to
Big,
heal yourself,
stinking, dirty
and you're
dog.
still a stinking dog.
Really?
Once you
When a woman do it, oh my gosh, it was really time, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, you go and you find your way, girl.
Wow.
You find your light.
Really hurt you.
And supporting you with a man.
That's
He's a
thinking
dog.
Because it's the way sometimes
Look
people
how that
do
woman
things.
stand by your side, boy.
It is the way
Well,
sometimes
you gonna
people do things.
Why you gonna do that, woman? Boy, you
It's the way sometimes people do things across the board.
Just how she did it, exactly how she did it. If a man did it exactly like that,
No, still out.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking
And
about
what
him
I'm saying is y'all are dealing in generalizations.
And this is my problem with this new age version of feminism. Everything is to be like a man. It's just like
Except that's
people,
not it, though.
like white women fighting to be white men and not actually to improve the situation.
I love that.
You're just trying to be men.
Yeah.
Who's y'all? First
And
of all, calm down.
that's not the solution.
The tone. Calm it down. Bring it down. There are differentiations and different waves of feminism. And with every movement has things as problematic. There are some versions of feminism, particularly as it intersects with race and class, i.e. the pink hats, the white feminists who does march in New York or DC or wherever they does march. Right. Those types of feminism don't take into consideration intersectionality. So many times when people ask me if I'm a feminist, I say no. Which is why when I talk about decolonization and changing discourse, it's the reason why I have attached Jamet discourse to much of my research, that idea of how do we find empowerment for women and women's bodies, which actually in a lot of ways empowers an entire space in a way that is uniquely us and uniquely Caribbean. And that's the way I access it. That's the way I access it. So I get where she's coming from in terms of, but let's not feed into that ridiculous incel ideology of feminism, that broad, very potentially problematic branding of feminism across the board as the reason for all the problems in the world. Let's not empower that, because that's dangerous.
That was the one that lead anywhere on all platforms.
That's dangerous. You see, inceldom. If you don't know what an incel is, go look it up. That is dangerous, very dangerous.
So again, I'm asking, if it was a man that did it, in the way she did it.
And I answered you. Is it that I'm not answering you the way you want me to answer?
No.
Mr. Sweetness 2023.
I just wanted to be clear for the people in the back that if a man tomorrow wakes up and does exactly what she did in the same manner and the same style, would he be allotted the same respect and grace?
By who?
By
the
society.
Masses, by society.
If you're asking me,
by society.
If I
not by you,
would allow, there would be people
masses,
there will be people in society just the same way there are people burning she down right about now saying the man, boy, you was happy, the man ain't horny, where you going, all you have children. The same way she gets in that same fire, he will get fire. You think the ratio would be smaller, and you are allowed.
Morning team. It just does ache me to see how much responsibility lies on a man as a person, as an individual, right? You have to provide. As a man, you're supposed to provide and make sure you're home in order. You have to be there emotionally.
Yes. Oh my God.
Who does do all these things for men, boy? Tell me now, who does do all these things for men? You know, sometimes a man doing all that, he watch me, 16 hours, days, and sometimes all he need is his wife to just push your hand on him and say, baby, don't worry, it will be okay. But not everything a man going through, he will tell a woman financially, emotionally, not everything, because as a man, it might hurt his ego to tell his wife or something, but come on, people have to be more mindful and think of what they're doing, man. And that is too much responsibility. I rather stay by my damn self.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Where's he tone about? Where's he on that tone about?
It's, you know what it is, and sir, I'm saying it with love.
Doesn't he have a point? Doesn't he have a valid point?
He has an opinion.
Right.
What I'm going to say.
He has an opinion at a point.
He has an opinion. And
the suicide rate for men
right
now,
you are absolutely right there.
All you have to buy case of flitters. All you have to buy case of flitters.
Men are always expected to suck it up.
You are absolutely right, Rudy. You are right. But what we're not talking about in terms of the reason why, the expectations in terms of men not being able to deal with their emotions, etc., that is placed on them, is the same things that always get antsy when I start to talk about it in terms of masculinity. I'm going to use one of the words that is a huge trigger for some, toxic masculinity, as it complements patriarchy, etc. Because we not and there are a lot of times that there are women who are champions for those agendas as well, because it's internalized, because that's what we're teaching. So we coming out thinking this is the way it's supposed to be. So it is not as though women are automatically programmed to accept and encourage men to operate in wholesome, healthy ways. So I completely agree with what you're saying there. What I'm saying on the flip side is that many of the times what we framing right about now as men not being allowed to operate as whole human beings, women have the same level of societal pressures on them. They manifest in different ways, but we each burdening society. We each have certain amounts of societal pressures on us.
I mean, women to me would have a lot more assistance and tools to work
because we have communities, because we have our friends.
They have each other.
And so who falls into
within the man's community, and those things I'm talking about, those things I'm speaking about is generational problems that that will take a while to actually fix.
Yes.
So at the same time with what this brother is saying here, to me, what he now do there is actually starting that conversation and highlighting to us, listen, this is the problem that men does go through all the time.
Let us pick it apart a little bit, right? He spoke about men being expected to sacrifice. Are women not expected to sacrifice?
Of course they are.
Right.
Of course.
He spoke about men expected to be emotional support and be of emotional support. Are women not expected to be of emotional support?
Yes, but if you're
to a man or their children?
To men, to children, especially black women. There's that. He talked about 16-hour days. Aren't there women who are mothers, etc., who work 16-hour days?
We're shadowing the points that he's bringing across.
No, we're not shadowing it at all.
Trying to, go back and forth with man and woman.
No, we're not shadowing it at all. Because here's why we're not shadowing it. Because he framed it in a way to say, this is what men go through, and I find it is unfair, as in comparison to what women go through, right?
All right, hold on. I'm going to say this.
And I'm saying societal burdens are equal. Societal burdens are equal.
Yeah, societal burdens are equal, right? But what he's saying is that society also never taught us that we expect a woman, right, to pull us out from the way. We grew up believing as men that I will expect her to help me do this and do that. We know we have to do it. Nobody's coming to gallop on a horse and save us.
So
I'm just saying, you're talking society.
Okay.
But there are women who also been taught that hey, you had to get a man to do so for you. Let us not forget that part. That is that teaching. I'm not saying everybody, Abby. But there's a lot of women who expect it from a man.
This is why I said...
That is why he framed it that way. He is saying that everybody expects it from a man.
But what about expectations of a woman then? Aren't there expectations of a woman?
They are, but they are
so
not
then
those.
Both arguments bear equal weight, innit?
All right.
So that means...
You see the measurement?
So wait now. So that means Kanye t-shirt is valid then?
How?
White lives matter.
How?
Because that's what we're doing right now.
No, that is not what we're doing. No. You see, you can't do that. That is called shifting one.
How are we to move on?
No.
And start to address the issues if we continue comparing man and woman issues?
Rodel, this is where intersectionality comes into play, right? So you have
because
various...
we're not addressing what the Bridget just say.
But we are. Because we have various intersections of the oppressed, if you want to call it that. And yes, there are people who be like, it is not the oppression Olympics. Cool. Yes, it is not a competition to say who is more hurt and who is more traumatized and who is oppressed more, etc. It's not that. But the point is, if we're going to have a conversation of this nature, for it not to be reductive, we have to acknowledge that there are certain spaces and bodies that operate in certain positions of privilege and certain positions of oppression. Right? Men's bodies
operate
in spaces of privilege. Black men's bodies, however, don't operate along the same axis of privilege as white men's bodies. And we understand why historically. Yes, we get that. And this is what intersectionality means. white women's bodies don't operate along the same axis of oppression as black women or brown women or any women of color's bodies. We understand that, right? But the point is, male bodies operate in more position of privilege generally because the Western world is still framed around the axis of patriarchy. That is not something that we can argue. This is not about feelings. That's factual. That's historical, socio-cultural, economic fact. Yeah? So when we having these conversations about trauma, because this is a conversation, it's really a conversation about trauma. When we having conversation about trauma, we have to consider the intersectionalities and the reason why societies still react a particular way to men versus women and how men versus women do certain things and why men get a certain pass to do certain things as opposed to women doing certain things.
So men get a pass?
So what?
Some accent. You say why men get a pass, and so we doing comparison. So women don't get a pass for certain things.
Women get passes for certain things, yes, but these
I just want you to stay on track now because we're doing the his.
Yes, okay, cool. Right? Since you want to be,
which I don't find.
No, because if you're on that round, I want just to stay there because the way you said men get a pass for certain things and they forget to talk about that. So it's like we alone is get a pass and all they struggling. No pass.
Wow, but Jaiga, I just said.
No, I just want to be clear for the people in the back.
If we're talking about we are not saying that women don't get passes for certain things. I'm also saying
Ross real comes.
You understand? And free drinks. Oh, cool. And free drinks.
Oh, Lord.
Comes and free drinks to make sure that it have more women in the party than men. To make sure that their bodies are accessible socially for the consumption of man. Like, we don't go down this road now.
Well,
Please, don't go down this road.
Well, they'll still be in the club drinking everything and then go home after.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this is why these conversations, as tenuous as they are and sometimes as painful as they are important.
Right. And in the importance of the conversation, let's try and we can't do it here and now in this time. There's a mini TED Talk on the solution. How can one better themselves as a man to better communicate with a woman who, him in his old teaching and understanding that he's a little frustrated that he has to do everything under the sun to please a particular individual, and he's finding struggle in doing that. How does one come to a solution to have a better understanding with a young lady as to how he can be better?
Well,
so we need to burn down China and Tobago then, as they say. Burn down the world and start afresh.
Burn down everything and make sure and kill all the lizards and the rest.
Yes, especially that last part. The thing is, right, when we frame it like this, we've been told that it's impossible. So we operating in a space of feeling that it cannot happen, that we cannot abandon certain ideologies.
What you believe
it
is
starts
a
in our own circles. So you see how Rudy said that thing about women have their circles, women have their tribes, women have safe spaces where we're able to talk, where we're able to share. Even when we feel as though we're supposed to be super, super strong. You understand? That whole idea of strong and independent, which in a lot of ways has done us a lot of harm, depending on the bodies that is branded across. And we know the bodies of womanhood that is branded across. So men need to start cultivating safe spaces for themselves to talk. But it also cannot be that your safe space is on either side, is a echo chamber. Because what's going to eventually end up happening is you're getting your same toxicity echoed back at you.
So don't go by the bar.
I mean, the bar is fine, but at the same time, in the midst of being in the bar,
you wouldn't get the right communication.
In the midst of wherever your safe space is about recognizing your blind spots and actively challenging things. It's not about our comfort only, you know. If you're totally comfortable, chances are you are making somebody else uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form. In the space that we're in right about now.
So if the both parties are uncomfortable,
well, if
they
it
should
is,
leave, right?
If both parties are uncomfortable and you make a decision to leave, well, yeah.
Because we live in this patriarchal world that we're in, that is what they want. They want Tia and Shiman and Corey to break up.
Because black love is a threat.
They get exactly what they wanted. 14, 20 years they were together. It's really 20 years, and they bust up.
Yeah.
all 20 years.
Something that
Down the
communication
drain.
could have solved.
Down the drain.
Something that communication could have solved, but we weren't inside of their relationship, so
Correct,
we don't
that's
know.
right.
So we don't know.
We don't know.
But something potentially that communication could have solved. But it still doesn't remove the fact that they both had the rights. She took up the rights, but they both had the rights to decide that they need to walk away and start a new chapter. That is a right that people have, regardless of what. So
Both people.
Both people have that right.
Just making it clear.
Well, if
Keep
I
it
want
in
my
the back.
relationship to continue, I need
just
to,
wanted
I need
that-
to leave
just like
right
to
now,
talk to
right?
you in the back.
I need to go and drop.
I try. Yeah, the child in the zoo.
I need to go and drop people before somebody said they want to start a new
That's what I'm about to say. Bottom line is,
Yes.
Bottom line is, just stay the course, my brothers. Stay the course. Try your best and communicate as best as you can, because 3 scores and 10 is
Relationships,
what
guys,
You
not just
understand?
brothers. Communication is key.
Yeah, I said I'm speaking directly to my brothers.
Okay.
Right? Directly to them. Right? Stay the course, my friends. Do the right thing. Honor your queen at every corner you turn. You have 3 scores and 10. That's allotted to you. The first 70 years of your life, just do right. Okay, what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying, guys? Do right. Live in love and light.
And brother, if that don't work out, you see the park by Beswa Street and still have space.
Wow. So homelessness then. So homelessness.
That's the other option. Peace of mind.
Homelessness.
Peace of mind.
Wow. Woo! G's and H's.
It's Friday.
Oh,
if, you
my God.
if you still coming here Friday and leaving here in your feelings in our bag, you have a problem. You can't do that, Abby. It's Friday.
How it come to my feelings are in a bag?
Well, sometimes when people have feelings, they start putting in our bag. because it's like that. You only place it
Really?
you can't bring it by me. You put it in our bag. Because I can't help you. You need a black chair. I'm not talking to you directly. I'm just saying, if people allow the show to trigger them to that level,
But there are people for whom it does trigger, and if there are people listening in and you are triggered, take a breath.
Take a breath. That's all.
And allow it to feed healthy conversation for the
Because
rest of the
that is
day,
the purpose,
or
and
tomorrow, or
and
whenever you're ready.
And has always been the purpose of the show. Again, you try to drag somebody into it, but no, the purpose of the show really and truly is to bring the conversation to the forefront. And maybe today, this afternoon, some men who like me in a barbershop will decide, we don't
Well,
do
people
this.
this morning, and then it starts with cussing and being vexed, and then at the end of it,
It
they
might
might have a nugget or two of something that you could take away.
Correct.
No beers, or Cleveland said don't drink beers this evening. Go home and talk to your significant other if you have one.
Yeah.
Go home and talk to your mother, your sister.
Sometimes mother and sister and all going through them with problems in the way.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
You tell me, go
right.
Your mother ain't get she pension and she vexed.
That's right. Upset.
Your mother upset that she ain't get she pension. They change to take on the form and she can't.
She had a life certificate form yet. I'm sure she's still alive.
Your sister man only she want to kill you and you want to go there and talk, brother man. Do not do it.
So pretty much so scan students. Skew by yourself.
No, I'm saying find somebody else. It don't necessarily, it will have to be your mother or your sister. Find somebody else. Channel it there somewhere else, because I really don't want anybody to go by their mother or the sister right now, and the mother ain't get she pension and the sister man leave them and it's problem. Because that would just add to it and you will end up leaving worse than you came.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So pick wisely. You understand? Do the right thing, guys, as I said. Pray. Praying is important.